Hi, everyone. This is Eliza, and today we are answering a question about reading the Bible. And I think this is a great question, whether you are a new believer or have been a Christian for a long time, or just kind of checking out the Bible. So here's the question, and I really appreciate it because it just really shows the reality of what it can be like sometimes as a believer. The question is, what do I do if I don't get much out of reading the Bible? Great question. And thank you so much for asking it because, like I said, it's something that I think everybody who is a believer has felt that from time to time. So I'm going to give you some suggestions that I hope will be helpful for you. The first one is simply just read the Bible with other people. So don't necessarily feel like you have to read it on your own. You can read it with other people and allow that to not just motivate you, but actually help you engage it a little bit more. Another thing you can do is read a different version. If there's a version that you're used to reading, a lot of times we kind of get locked into something that we're just used to from our church. Maybe it's the ESV or the NIV. Pick up something that you haven't read before. Right now, I'm reading through some version called the Christian Standard Bible, and I really enjoy that. So pick up a different version if it feels like you're just not really getting a whole lot out of your Bible reading. That can be another way to help. One other thing that I do as well is I listen to the Bible. So don't just think of reading the Bible as actually reading the words on a hard copy page, but use your Bible app on your phone and listen to it. A lot of times I will have it open and be reading and listening at the same time, or sometimes I'll just listen to it. So that's another way that you can do it. And depending on the reader, it can help you kind of engage it a little bit more. But one area that I think can be helpful if you are struggling with reading the Bible is to be prayerful, to really pray about it. And I would say pray three things. Pray that God would speak to you through his word. He promises that is what he will do. And so ask him for that. Before you read the Bible or before you listen to the Bible every morning, just say a prayer and ask God to speak to you through his word, whether it's just you're going to just read a verse in the Bible or you're sitting down to maybe read a chapter. Just take a minute and pray and ask the Lord to speak to you through his word. But I would also pray that God would help that time to be beneficial for you in a way that delights your soul. So it's perfectly fine for you to ask God to delight your soul with this Bible reading time, to really make it a joyful experience, and especially if it hasn't been. And the last one I would say is pray for wisdom and pray for encouragement. So pray that God would give you wisdom as you read and encouragement as well. And just starting your reading with prayer can really change how you engage in the word. A couple other things I will say though, keep your reading short if you're struggling. You don't have to read for an hour or a half an hour or even for 10 minutes. If you just read for just a minute or two, keeping it short and allowing yourself to kind of meditate maybe on one verse can be very helpful. And I would say if you are new to the Bible, you've never gone through the Bible before, start with one of the Gospels, maybe John, because that will give you a picture of the life of Jesus and it reads more like a story. So a lot of times you can kind of stay with it a little bit more as the story develops. If you are familiar with the Bible and you're just kind of going through some dry seasons, then I would say start with a smaller book of the Bible, like Philippians or one of the other epistles. That Philippians, I think, is just 4 chapters. So you can at least accomplish maybe that. And I think that's sometimes what can hinder us from reading the Bible is we can't get through it all, or it feels like we can't get through it all. And so start with one of those smaller books. And like I said, read with a friend and read those 4 chapters together slowly as long as you guys want to take doing that, and allow yourself to actually complete a book of the Bible. And one final thing I will say is write in your Bible. And if you can't bring yourself to do that, then get a journal and write while you read the Bible. I write in my Bible. I have like a crispy clean version of the Bible that I keep if I'm going to do a speaking engagement or something. But most of the time, my Bible is just kind of cluttered with my notes, and it makes it more personal. So don't be afraid to write in your Bible. But if you can't do that, just get a journal and write as you read, because a lot of times that allows us to process what we're reading a little bit more and engage it more deeply personally. So don't worry if you're feeling like reading the Bible is, you're in a season of it being kind of dry or dull, but don't stay there. Do some of these things and hopefully that will help you engage it better.